and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting over Neon Genesis Evangelion Episode 11. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. So last we left off, the crew at Nerve had just fought off an angel that had previously been dormant but was just starting to wake up. So cutting to today, it seems like the crew at Nerve that work in the control center, we're just sort of following their daily life, I guess. Picking up their laundry from the laundromat, riding on public transport. I guess it's a nice glimpse into their ordinary lives outside of work. So I guess in accordance with them being outside of work, they're just sort of talking about general life things that are going on. Upcoming elections, stuff like that. So Ritsuko, while talking to Gendo's sort of second in command, it slips that they're testing Unit 0 again. And immediately we smash cut to something going wrong. So it seems like whatever is going on, they keep running into the same issue with Unit 0. Now, interestingly enough, Unit 0 is blue, where in previous flashbacks it was shown as orange. I don't recall off the top of my head if it was shown as blue when they were fighting the fifth angel. Definitely noticing it now, I suppose. So Misato and Kaji are still up to their old tricks of Kaji trying to be cordial and Misato stonewalling him. Meanwhile, Shinji is calling his father, and it's going about as well as you might expect. So Gendo is pretty harsh with how he shuts Shinji down. But before, I guess, anybody can really do anything more about that, it seems like the power at NERV is shutting down, which Misato mentions is something that really shouldn't be happening. So even the backup circuits aren't working. NERV is in big trouble here because it sounds like basically all but the most essential functions have been de-energized. Shinji is also bringing up this issue because it seems to him that his father didn't hang up on him, but merely the line had been cut, as though the call had gotten dropped. Incidentally, the gate that they used to enter NERV headquarters isn't working. Asuka takes this initially as if Shinji and Rei were doing something wrong, tellingly. So independently, everybody's sort of coming to a similar conclusion. There were a bunch of auxiliary systems that could not fail simultaneously. So because they have, it must have been deliberate action on somebody's part. Very likely the actions of an angel. So now we're getting a first glimpse at the angel, and it looks like sort of like a four-legged spider. We only caught a glimpse of it, but it kind of puts me in mind of the aliens from War of the Worlds. The big, I guess, tripod walking things. So I like the storytelling that's going on here, where one group of characters somewhere asks a question or proposes something or starts to make a statement, and then another group of characters, independent of them, finish that statement. You know, Shinji and company are saying, hey, can we call somebody at NERV? And then immediately in the control room they're saying, yeah, the emergency phone doesn't work. Of course, Asuka is taking this as a chance to lord over the others as the one being in charge. Of course, her leadership is somewhat undermined by Rei having a better understanding of how to get around here. Of course, she also delegates the physical tasks to Shinji. So the Self-Defense Force, they still have some semblance of power, and they've got a better idea of what's going on. So really their only option at this point is to try and go to NERV manually to let them know about what's going on. So back in the elevator, things are still tense between Kaji and Misato. In no small part because they're in a very small enclosed area and the air conditioning is down. Of course, despite everything that's going on, Gendo is still maintaining a calm facade. So Ritsuko and company are hypothesizing about the reasoning behind this attack. And it seems that the power restoration process might give insight into the layout of the Geofront and Nerve headquarters. And in doing so, give the enemy, whoever they are, more information. And when you think about it, it's not a bad idea, especially because restoring power, one would naturally restore the most vital services, I suppose, first. So Shinji and company become aware that there's now a new angel on the way. And for whatever reason, Shinji's getting a little philosophical about what precisely the angels are. So Shinji's in a very difficult position here between having to choose between two people, especially when one of them is very ill-tempered. So despite whatever goes on, Asuka always tries to put a positive spin on it for herself. They've blundered back to the surface, and she declares it as having gained visual confirmation of the enemy. So, fortunately for the group, Rei sort of knows her way around, but that doesn't stop Asuka from needling her about her relationship with Gendo. Meanwhile, Gendo and company are preparing the Evangelions for manual insertion. So normally, the Evangelion is a highly automated process. But because they have no power, everything will have to be done with manpower alone. Notably, even Gendo is getting his hands dirty hoisting the entry plug. At this stage in the game, the Evangelion is ready to launch. All it needs are the pilots. As luck would have it, they happen to be crawling in an event right above the launch bay, and they fell out just in time. So I think this is a little nice interaction that shows Shinji the better side of his father, despite all the poor interactions they have. If nothing else, he is devoted to the cause. Notably, because there's no power, in order to disable the hydraulic locks, they actually have to cut the pneumatic tubes and drain the fluid. You know, that's sort of a permanent solution to the temporary problem of having no power, but, you know, it's not really something you can worry about when there's an angel abound. So the angel has stopped right above the geofront. As to what it's going to do, who really knows? But I'd imagine it's probably similar to the fifth angel, where it'll try and drill down. Otherwise, why would it just crouch down right above? So the three Evas at this point are going to have to climb their way out of the geofront. Unfortunately, the angel is counterattacking by dribbling acid down the exit. Only Unit 1's intervention prevents the three of them from tumbling, if not to their deaths, to serious injury. Now, given the virulence of the acid, it's very likely that rather than drilling, the angel intends to burn its way through. So Asuka offers up a plan. And knowingly, she takes the most dangerous job for herself rather than the job that would net her the most glory. So despite how she's behaving the entire episode, Asuka does have her good points. In essence, her role in the plan is entirely self-sacrificial. Given how the pilot can feel what the Evangelion feels, I'd imagine having acid dripped all over your back is a rather horrible feeling. And that Asuka withstands it is, I guess, a testament to her willpower. Ultimately, the plan goes off without a hitch, and they're able to neutralize the Angel. So the power comes back on just in time for Misato and Kaji to find themselves in an unfortunate position and to be discovered by Ritsuko. Now that all the power is coming back on in Tokyo 3, the three EVA pilots just sort of relax together and socialize. It's nice for them to be getting along now. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means tune in for the next one.